This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba for another technical diving tips, techniques, and trips video.
Hello divers, thanks for joining me for this video today. We're at the beginning of our diving season and we're about to embark on a number of overseas trips. When we go on overseas trips, one of our most important considerations is our travel luggage and our travel weight. In this video, we're going to talk about a travel vest, which I use to help make this process a little bit easier. Back when I started investigating the possibility of using a vest to carry some of my scuba diving equipment, I started out with what was called a cargo vest, and you sometimes see cargo vests also called photography vests or actually fishing vests, and they basically have a series of pockets on the vest that you can use to carry different items. The problem with those types of vests are they did not have enough cargo carrying capacity for me, and I was not also able to adjust the types of pockets that were on there, so that has led me to the use of this. This is called a tactical mesh vest, and it can be used to carry different items. Sometimes it's also called a MOLLE vest. So with this particular vest, you have the ability to configure the different pouches that you have to carry gear on it, which is the primary reason for doing it. This particular vest is made by a company called Elite Survival Systems, and I think you could see that right in there. There are other vests that are made by companies called 511 and also Condor. And the reason why I'm using this particular vest is because it comes in coyote tan, and most of the other companies that make these types of mesh MOLLE vests actually only make them in black. The problem with black is it's considered too tactical, too high profile, and you can draw a lot of undue attention by wearing a black tactical vest, whereas a coyote tan vest doesn't quite do that the same way. However, I will, toward the end of the video, talk about an incident that I did have in the Bonaire airport. Okay, so as I said, the big thing between this type of vest and a regular cargo vest or photography vest or fishing vest is the fact that you can put what kind of pouches you want on here. So I have pouches that are made by those companies, 511, Condor, and also another company called Tasmanian Gear. And so I have different types of pouches here. We're going to go through each one of these and what I use them for and how they differ from each other. All right, so the first pouch is over here, and this is called an admin pouch. And it has a Velcro pouch there for really rapid access items that you can carry in the front pouch. And then it has a secure zipper pouch here, and what I do with this pouch is I usually carry money and stuff like that in there, although there is some additional space for some other items. Okay, so that's an admin pouch. This pouch here on this side is considered a general purpose pouch, and I use it to carry different things like my earbuds here. I also use it to carry some soap and a few other things. I think I have some batteries in there now, as well as a few other things. Okay, so that is a small general purpose pouch, and the only reason for its existence is as you go up the MOLLE vest, then what happens is the pouches, the area amount of the pouches becomes smaller. Okay, so the area down here is larger, so you can put larger pouches down. So this particular pouch, you can see the little first aid symbol here. I keep medical things in there. I keep my spare glasses. I keep different kinds of medications in this. It's very compartmentalized, so it helps keep that stuff organized. And then on this side, I have another general purpose pouch, but this pouch has the MOLLE strips, webbing that is used on here to mount all the different pouches. And so I'll use the MOLLE strips here to carry pens and pencils. And then this has a main compartment as well. And in here I'll carry different things like this travel scale that you saw earlier in the video. I'll carry that in there. I'll also carry my passport in there and a few other items like that. Now, there are two additional general purpose pouches on either side of the vest, and normally I keep these empty, but when I run into extreme weight restrictions, There are some places where you can only carry a total of 7 kilograms on board the plane in your carry-on luggage. I will use these side pouches. There is no restriction that I've encountered as to the use of clothing, in this case a vest, okay, a cargo vest, to carry different items. And I have not had any difficulty with the ticket check-in counter, nor the different security agencies. I've never had a problem with that. Again, I'll talk about the situation that occurred in Bonaire in a little bit. All right, so what I use these two pouches on the side for is I'll actually take my regulators and I will disassemble them. I'll take off the gauges, I'll take off the hoses, I'll take off the second stages, and I'll actually use these two side pockets to carry the second stages and the first stages and the gauges. So I can offload quite a bit of weight from my small roll-on luggage. So even in the event that they were to weigh it, it would not exceed the 7 kilogram limit, whereas if I had all this stuff in there, it would definitely would. On the back side of this is the another MOLLE pouch here, and this is a larger MOLLE pouch, and what I have is, this is the one made by Tasmanian Gear. What I have is a large area here, and I can actually coil my hoses up, and I'll put those in here. This one also has space enough to put in an iPad or also a small computer. It is large and surface this way in that dimension, but it is very narrow, so you can only carry relatively thin things in there. So this also has an additional couple of pockets, and these are on the inside. There's like a zip pouch here that you can actually put stuff in there. So I will sometimes put travel documents in those pockets, and there's also one on the other side as well. Okay, so let's talk about some disadvantages to using one of these. As I mentioned, I did have an incident in Bonaire at the airport where one of the Bonaire policemen came up to me and said that I couldn't wear a vest like this. And I think what he was really after was he thought it was body armor, and it's obviously not body armor, but I showed him that it had no body armor panels in there, and he left me alone sort of after that. But before he left, he did say something about how they were going to get calls on me from being in the city wearing this particular vest. Okay, so that's not really an issue, because once I get out of the airport out of travel mode and I'm actually diving, I'm going to take everything out of the pouches, reassemble my regulator sets, and I'm going to leave the vest in the room. So I don't really have that issue. And of course, nobody ever got called on me either. All right, so I originally thought maybe I'm the only one that does something like this, but we did encounter a lady in the shop not too long ago, and she mentioned out of the blue that she carried, she wore a cargo vest, and as it turns out, she was a big photographer, and so she didn't want to check in her luggage or her photography equipment, or I guess she didn't have enough space in her carry-on luggage to carry it, so she used a photographer's vest, which was specifically made to carry camera equipment like lenses and things like that. So not as flexible as this, okay, but it is also another alternative. So I have successfully used this particular vest on a number of trips, and it's come in very handy for carrying my gear both when I do and when I don't have extreme weight restrictions on luggage. And of course, when you take this off, you don't sit in the seat in the airplane seat with this thing on the whole time. You can take it off and stick it in a corner underneath your seat, and you don't have any problem, because it does come up quite compact. Okay, so this is what I use in those situations, and I have been using it for a while now, and I've been using it without any problems, and with what I consider good success. Okay, that's the video.
This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.